guys, what is going on? It's GalJ007 here with another episode. Hope you guys are doing great. Happy Tuesday. So last time we were running away from this ghastly presence that was coming out of some dungeon looking thing. And then we run into this room and there's the ogre that we ran away, or maybe it's a new ogre, I don't know. And then a whole bunch of people chanting, and then there's bodies that are rising, I don't know. So that's what was happening. We decided to kind of just blast them with a spell. It cost us 4 mana, so we are only down to 1 mana. We regained some life by using our skill points. I think there was an update where you could do that. But guys, if you haven't watched the other videos, please make sure you do that. Start from the beginning. See the decisions we made, some good ones, some bad ones. But yeah, let's get started with this one. And happy Tuesday. All right. So after I fire them, I yelled, "Kill them all!" You shout. Reginald answers your call admirably by charging the undead corpse, and with the mighty cleave of his sword, he completely decapitates it. The red eyes go dull, and the thing flops to the floor. The ogre snarls and steps towards Reginald, its great club raised high above. You reach deep inside yourself and call for your most powerful spell. Flames shoot from your fingers, engulfing the ogre. It screams in pain and crashes to the floor in a pillar of fire. With the ogre out of the way, Reginald gets to work hacking on the priest. You join him with your dagger, and before you know it, all your enemies lie dead in the ground around you. Nice. All right, so we kind of did good there, huh? I think we also got some coin there from doing that. Not a lot, but we are getting a lot of money there. But anyways, as you and Reginald catch your breath, from somewhere in the castle echoes the distant raspy crackle of a dark spirit with the hellish eyes. A chill goes up your spine. You do not want to tangle with that thing again. You suspect neither your spells nor blades can harm it. Perhaps it would be wise to run from the cursed place. On the other hand, maybe you could afford to take a few seconds to search the bodies of your recently fallen enemies. But there is still the matter of the merchant's daughter, Cibah. What do you do? Alright, I think I'm going to search the body. I feel like if we go back into the castle to find Cibah, that's what I'm calling her, Cibah. Then we may have to encounter the ghost again. But I feel like if we rescue her, I feel like we're going to get rewarded so well. The bodies, I don't really care. Usually it gives us money. So we're going to try to find Cibah. Let's go find Cibah. Come, Reginald, we must find her, you say. The two of you are debating whether exactly you should go to accomplish this when there is blood-curdling screams not far off. Before you can react, you see Cibah, her eyes bloodshot, run into the candlelight. "Gods be praised!" you exclaim. "Gods, we must flee. A monster comes," Cibah shouts. All right. Sorry about that. The three of you run. The ears, you complain as you run through the castle entrance chamber. You're referring to the goblin corpses from which you could harvest trophies. "No number of rubbery ears are worth your soul," Reginald exclaims. Despite your present anxiety, this strikes you as somewhat funny, and you plan to remind him of his words later if you survive. For now, you do as your friend advises and keep running. The three of you retreat to the forest. You are all exhausted, and so once safely away from the cursed ruin and reasonably certain no evil follows, you make camp. Because you are still in goblin country, you decide against the campfire. Instead, you will have to just make do with the sleeping roll in your backpack. It is a rather cold night, and you notice Cibah carries nothing but the ripped up clothes on her back. What do? I'm going to offer her my blanket. I feel like if I offer her to share the blanket, I might get slapped. Which I don't want that. Shrug and go to sleep. Now I'm going to offer offer her my blanket. Oh, nice. So our life increased. That's even better. And our mana. Nice. I guess because we rested. I think it's because we rested, not because we gave her the blanket. My lady, you bow. My blanket is yours. You present the blanket in your outstretched arms. Such a gentleman. She smiles, courtesies, and takes the blanket from you. Chivalry is alive and well in the Fellowland forest, she says to you. She then quickly gathers up a pile of leaves and pine needles into a woodland bed and curls up. I'll take the first watch, Reginald offers and then sighs contentedly as he pulls out his own blanket from his backpack and wraps it around himself. He then plops down with the back against a tree. You stare at him expectantly and clear your throat. You stare at him expectantly and clear your throat several times until he finally gives up his joke and hands you the blanket. You then roll up in it and fall fast asleep. It is your watch, Reginald says as he shakes you awake. After some stretching, yawning, and complaining, you hand Reginald his blanket and take your turn at the watch. Your eyes wander to the sleeping merchant's daughter. A silver of moonlight has escaped through the branches above and illuminates her delicate nose. You decide that it's a pretty little nose. You feel a pang of guilt. The young maiden has just lost her father, you think. She's not simply some young woman you met at an inn that you might like to try to charm. You were never that good at charming anyways. That was always Reginald's talent. He always told you that it was because you think too much and he never allows you, and can never allow your natural charm to shine through. You turn your attention away from the sleeping girl and into the dark gloom of the forest. It's obvious that you need something to occupy your thoughts in order to stay awake. You wait until Reginald begins snoring before you pull your spellbook out of your backpack. Reginald hates it when you study magic while you are supposed to be keeping watch, but you need something to distract you from the cold. With flint and tinder, you light a single candle to read by. The arcane text that you have read 1,000 times over, but differently each pass-through, provides a sort of familiar comfort. A comfort you are grateful for in this dark forest. Soon you are lost in study. After some time, you can never keep track of time when immersed in magical lore, you exclaim, "Yes!" Danger? Reginald rolls over, his eyes slits. He is only half awake. I understand invisibility. I can turn invisible. At last. This spell has eluded me for so long. At least, I think I understand, you say as you point down at the arcane symbols in your book. Go to sleep, Reginald slurs, and then his head falls back to the ground. This is Goblin country, and I am on watch. I dare not sleep, you say, but Reginald does not hear you. He's snoring again. It turns out that you are not so vigilant after all. At some point, as you gaze at the candle flame, you fall asleep. Oh no. Awake, someone is near. Reginald whispers as he shakes you. You sit up groggily. It is early morning. At first, all you hear are singing birds. Then, sure enough, voices trickle in through the trees. Not goblins. Not in the daytime, you think. They approach upon the trail, Cibah says, huddling in her blanket. To the trail then, but keep quiet, says Reginald. Why? Why not stay still and let them pass, asks Cibah. Because we are adventurers, you whisper fiercely as you gather your backpack. Refusing to be left by herself, Cibah follows as you creep up to the edge of the trail. Thank the gods she is not sniffling or otherwise making a racket. You have just taken up your position in the brush, and you see the first of column of priests of Nerul. Several of them are speaking casually, loudly even, as though they and not the goblins own this part of the woods. As they pass by, you see in the middle of the column a large stretcher made of thick wooden branches and rough-spun fabric. It's carried by 8 priests. Upon the stretcher is a pure white horse whose legs are bound with rope. Not a horse, but a unicorn. You have not seen one before, but the long, softly glowing horn is a dead giveaway. Several meters behind the main party are a tall man and a woman. You know the young woman, or to be precise, you know of her. She is the beautiful Lady Igraine, daughter of Lord Igraine. Her father holds a keep and state some distance from town, and her family comes to Ring City for annual tournaments. More than once you have gazed wistfully at her from the cheap seats far in the corner of the jousting arena. Needless to say, it's a bit disappointing to see that she appears to be a Nerulian priestess. And the men with her, you wonder. After a moment you recognize him as her father, Lord Igraine. To think of a man of such an illustrious line would get mixed up with this evil lot. Anyway, back to Lady Igraine. Her jet black hair is pulled back to reveal a most shapely long neck. Her flawless skin glows in the dawn light. It is as though the sun itself, desperate to touch her, has found a path through the forest canopy. The golden unholy symbol of the Neural hanging over her bosom contrasts nicely with her large brown eyes. We cannot go back there, not yet, Lord Igraine is saying. Why would we go back, ever? The ruin offers no decent bath, Lady Igraine replies. There is some unfinished business. However, it can wait. Lord Igraine says as he absently pats the pockets of his immense fur-lined overcoat. The old one will move on from Castle Inverness to seek the living. Let us hope he does not exact revenge upon us. After the column has passed out of earshot, Reginald sighs. A unicorn, was it not? Where did they even find such a creature? And what do they plan to do with it, you ask? I wager they do not plan to simply feed her apples and comb her mane, Reginald replies. Her? It is a lady unicorn? You ask. Oh, I did not look in that decisive region, Reginald blushes. Such craven and pathetic simpletons, Cibah seethes as she glares after the column of priests disappearing around the bend. I propose we tie each of them down and cut off one finger at a time. We will bind their wounds to ensure they do not lose too much blood and fall unconscious. I will then take their eyelids and... Oh, I do not think all that will be necessary, you interrupt. There are perhaps 24 of them. I do not think we will have time for all that work. You and Reginald exchange perplexed looks, and then Reginald whispers in your ear, Young maiden loves unicorns. Cibah regards the two of you with hard eyes. We should attack them now and make them pay for their transgression. There are too many, Reginald protests, even with the element of surprise. I thought you said you were adventurers, Cibah interrupts. Adventurers, not idiots. Reginald replies, his pride clearly hurt. There are only 3 of us, and they are slowed by their burden. We could cut through the woods and get ahead of them. We shall ambush them as they come by, or we could follow them from a distance and learn more about our quarry. Perhaps strike at more opportune time, Reginald says, and perhaps they will notice us following them, or perhaps they are journeying to some vile fortification that we cannot hope to storm. I say we ambush them now while they're in the open, Cibah says. I'm going to say we're going to follow them. Now, guys, unfortunately, it's already been 13 minutes, so we're going to stop right there. We did gain some life. We got some mana. We have a lot of gold. Morale went up. We're on the brinks of making a really big decision whether we are going to attack them right now or not, but we'll leave that for the next chapter. I do appreciate you guys as always. Please don't forget to do all the YouTube things. Like, subscribe, comment, share even if you can. And don't forget that I do have other social media, so make sure you guys check those out as well. And thank you very much for all your support. I hope you guys are enjoying the series as always. And I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you.